a minor setback. Unfortunately, the knot I tied for this was just not big enough, so it slipped right through the hole. So we'll have to pull this apart again and get a little more familiar with pull starts. But we'll still test the Thunder Tigers. All right, so we're back with the 2-speed Tomahawk. Last time I went to test this, there was a bunch of fuel squirting out of the high-speed needle housing when I went to prime the engine. And I also noticed some smoke coming from the manifold exhaust gasket area. I'm wondering if there was some fuel that had leaked from when I had attempted to drive it after priming it, and that's what was causing the smoke here. The screws were tight and there was, no issues with what it looks like. So I decided to just keep that gasket and see if it was just a fuel leak that was causing the smoke. So here we are. Go ahead and get this thing started up, drive it around, and see if that was what was causing all that gunk to build up. Ooh, these tires, not warmed up at all. It's cool and damp out, so grip is definitely going to be an issue with these Fortec tires. But shifting with no problems. Ooh, see? Got no problem shifting. All right, let's see if it's dirty. Actually, it might be out of fuel. I won't be able to tell unless I disassemble it, meaning pull the engine and clean it off, clean off this part of the car itself, the chassis. I'll clear out the rest of this fuel, and then we know where this one stands. We'll get it cleaned up and then have to come back again. We'll see. All right, so I just finished a second tank through this, and I don't think it's dirtier than it was after that last tank. I'm gonna go ahead and run one more. It's running really rich. Unfortunately, I forgot my tuning driver, but rich is better than not. So the main point of this exercise is just to see if there's any more leaks. There is some water in the lot, just from like cars leaving water or whatever. And there's also on that freshly painted white, there's some like powder left over, so that's where I was losing some traction. But yeah, I don't know. You can see that right there. That's water. So those little bits could be what I'm seeing here on the chassis, because it is in like random different spots. Like before it was wet under there. So I don't know. We'll see. Run one more, and we'll report back, see how dirty this is. Not much sense in recording too much of this, just back and forth. Like I said, the whole point of this exercise is just to make sure that there's not a leak in the fuel system here, or in the exhaust. That shift point's real nice. It's just one turn out. Taking it easy while recording because I don't want to crash. It's hard to drive and film at the same time. So I'm gonna finish this tank. I'm gonna go ahead and just finish this without recording. Well, I don't know. Looks about the same. Doesn't really look dirtier. Like I said, the exhaust manifold screws are pretty tight. Didn't seem to be any gaps in the gasket in the manifold at all. I really think it was just some oil coming from the carburetor onto the manifold, and that's what caused the smoke. And I know I saw the fuel come out of that high-speed needle housing when I primed it. So I don't know, it drives pretty darn good, even for being a little rich. So I don't know if there's still an issue until I remove the engine and clean off the car and the engine itself, and then reinstall it and drive it again. Yeah, it drives well. I don't really see any performance issues or feel any performance issues. I'm starting to learn when this car starts to lean out a little bit, just from having driven them so often. The tanks last between 5 and 7 minutes, depending on, how much you're on the throttle. And yeah, so I think the test was successful here. So now I gotta test the other 2-speed with the proper settings on the radio and whatnot. Just make sure the throttle servo is correct for the idle. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that one next and see if that has any changes in the performance. But yeah, just got the radio and receiver switched over. Hopefully that idle, I'm gonna have to borrow this too. Hopefully that idle adjustment will work. So we'll go ahead and get this started and see if that idle adjustment helped. All right, I just warmed it up. Ran about a half tank, whatever was left over from before. I reset the idle with the radio, and we'll see how much of a difference that made or how drivable it is at this point. Before it was honestly annoying. So let's see what the adjustment did for it. Gorgeous shift point. This one is so much smoother on the turning. Drives a lot better than it did before. I think I have to reset the throttle servo horn. Ooh. Ooh. You can hear it when I let off the brakes. That's what I need to work on. Other than that, this car works well. Ooh! A little close for comfort there. So yeah, won't be surprised if this runs out of fuel very soon. Y'all get the point. I would say this one passed the test, just because I know exactly what needs to be fixed on it now. And getting close to the time where the lights are going to shut off, so. So, that's good. Let's see. Yeah, almost out of fuel. That's fine. Like I said, the lights are going to be shutting off any minute now, so that's good. I'd say we had a successful test. This one needs to have the throttle servo horn slightly repositioned, and this one just needs to be cleaned up a little bit and then ran again to see if there's any leaks. I will say these Fortec tires look really cool, but they are not good for cold parking lots. They're pretty much only good for warm weather running, or, you know, no obstacles. The HPI tires held up much better. I think it's because they're flatter. Anyways. Test passed. Successful run. Now I can move on.